It started like every other Sidemen Sunday, chaotic, funny, and filled with quick-fire jokes that fans had come to love. But within seconds, that laughter would vanish, replaced by outrage that spread faster than any Sidemen video ever had. In April 2023, the Sidemen uploaded what looked like another harmless challenge video. The setup was simple, a word association game, the kind of lighthearted segment that always led to ridiculous answers and laughter. KSI, sitting with the group, was in his usual form, cracking jokes, trying to make everyone laugh, but then, during one round, everything changed. When it was his turn, KSI looked straight at the camera, said a word, and then, in an attempt at humor, followed it with a racial slur. The moment landed like a brick. Some in the room laughed awkwardly, thinking it was just edgy comedy. But the internet didn't see it that way. Within minutes of the video going live, clips began circulating across Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok. Fans were stunned. Others were furious. And soon, it wasn't just fans. News outlets picked it up. Major media like The Guardian and ITV News ran headlines. KSI under fire for racial slur in Sidemen video. The Sidemen had always been known for their edgy humor, but this was different. The word KSI used wasn't just a joke gone wrong, it carried real history, real pain. And it came from someone with millions of followers, someone who had built his career on positivity, fun, and unity. As the backlash grew, the Sidemen deleted the video. Silence followed. For nearly 24 hours, fans waited. Would KSI say something? Would the group respond? Then came the apology. KSI posted a video where he looked genuinely remorseful, calling his actions stupid and disrespectful. His tone wasn't defensive, it was regretful. He said he'd spoken to members of the South Asian community and realized the weight of what he'd said. "I'm genuinely ashamed," he admitted, but the internet wasn't ready to forgive just yet. Some saw the apology as sincere, others saw it as damage control. Comment sections filled with debates about cancel culture, about boundaries in comedy, and about how big creators handle accountability. Even the Sidemen's official account weighed in, saying, "We failed to uphold the standards we believe in. We stand against racism in all forms." For a group that prided itself on unity, it was a sobering moment. In the days that followed, KSI made real efforts to show growth. He met with community leaders, visited a mosque, and spoke openly about learning from the mistake. Slowly, the outrage turned into conversation, and the conversation turned into reflection. The controversy didn't destroy the Sidemen, but it did change them. It reminded both fans and creators that the line between humor and harm isn't just about what's funny, it's about responsibility. Because one moment, one word, can shake an empire built on millions of laughs. And sometimes, it takes losing your audience's trust to remember just how powerful your voice really is. But that wasn't the only time the Sidemen would find themselves at the center of controversy. Sometimes, the drama came from unexpected places. It started as a casual interview, a few laughs, some fun banter, and then one comment that would ignite one of the most unexpected celebrity feuds of the year. In July 2025, Maya Jama, one of the UK's biggest television personalities, appeared on a popular podcast. Everything was going smoothly until the host asked her a question that would send shockwaves through the YouTube community. If you had to hang out with one group, the Sidemen or the Beta Squad, who would it be? Maya didn't hesitate. "Oh, definitely Beta Squad," she said with a grin. And then she added, almost casually, "They just feel more real, you know?" That single line, "more real," was all it took. Within hours, clips of the interview went viral. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, everyone had an opinion. Was Maya Jama throwing shade at the Sidemen? Was she calling them fake, arrogant, out of touch? Fans started digging deeper, analyzing every word, every smirk, every pause in that moment. And soon, the Sidemen noticed. At first, the group stayed quiet. But if you know the Sidemen, You know they don't stay quiet for long. A few days later, during a Sidemen Sunday recording, Simon Minter made a sly reference that fans instantly connected to Maya's comment. Then Ethan Bezinga Payne laughed and muttered something about being too real for TV types. Boom, it was on. YouTube commentary channels jumped on it. Headlines popped up everywhere. Maya Jama calls out the Sidemen. Sidemen respond to Maya's shade. Beta Squad versus Sidemen. Who's really better? But underneath all the jokes, there was something deeper going on. The feud hit a nerve because it touched on something that had been simmering in the UK creator scene for a while: class and image. The Sidemen, once the underdogs of YouTube, were now millionaires with their own brands, restaurants, and reality shows. The Beta Squad, on the other hand, still carried that scrappy outsider energy. So when Maya said more real, fans took it as a commentary on authenticity, as if she was saying the Sidemen had become too corporate, too polished, too celebrity. And whether she meant it that way or not, the narrative stuck. In true Sidemen fashion, they didn't launch a full-scale war. Instead, they played it smart, using humor. On their Sidemen podcast, KSI laughed it off, saying, "We're not fake, we just have better lighting." The room erupted. It was a dig, but a light one, enough to keep things fun while reminding everyone who still ran YouTube. Eventually, Maya clarified that she hadn't meant to insult anyone. She was just answering a question honestly. But by then, the internet had already done what it does best: turned a casual comment into a viral headline. And that's what made this feud so fascinating. It wasn't about real hate or drama. It was about perception, who's real, who's relatable, and how fame can change the way people see you. For the Sidemen, it was a reminder that no matter how big they get, people will always compare them to who they used to be. And for Maya Jama, it proved one thing. In the world of influencers, even one innocent sentence can spark a storm. But if you think that was dramatic, you haven't heard about the time the Sidemen turned on each other. Imagine YouTube in 2017, a wild west of creators, beefs, and clickbait. But nothing, absolutely nothing, compared to the chaos that exploded when the Sidemen turned on each other. What started as a simple announcement spiraled into one of the most legendary internet feuds of all time: the Sidemen War. It all began with one sentence. In August 2017, KSI dropped a bombshell tweet saying he was leaving the Sidemen. Fans didn't believe it at first. After all, these guys were more like brothers than business partners, but when he doubled down in a video, it felt real. He claimed there had been tension behind the scenes and hinted at drama with Ethan Payne, better known as Bezinga. And just like that, the internet split in two. Within days, KSI uploaded a diss track aimed directly at his former crew. It was savage, full of personal jabs, inside jokes, and lines that made even loyal fans gasp. But then, the rest of the Sidemen fired back. W2's Harry Lewis went nuclear. His diss track didn't just respond, it exposed. He called out KSI's ego, questioned his friendships, and threw in some brutal personal shots that made the video go viral overnight. Suddenly, every member had something to say. Simon Minter jumped in with his own track. Ethan dropped bars. Even those who weren't directly involved started reacting. YouTube became a war zone of diss tracks, reaction videos, and fan theories. And the numbers? Insane. Each upload was hitting millions of views in hours. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds, fans picking sides, quoting lyrics, and arguing about who won. It wasn't just beef anymore, it was entertainment history. But here's the twist no one saw coming. It wasn't as real as it looked. Weeks later, fans began noticing clues, small inconsistencies, jokes shared between enemies, and reactions that seemed a little too playful. Then it became clear the Sidemen War wasn't pure hate, it was strategy. A calculated mix of friendly rivalry and business genius. Behind the scenes, they were still working together, planning videos, coordinating uploads, and essentially creating a YouTube storyline before anyone else was doing it. It was part real, part theater, but completely brilliant. The payoff? Massive. Their subscriber counts skyrocketed. Their collective reach exploded. The Sidemen turned drama into marketing, and it worked better than anyone could have predicted. When KSI finally revealed that he'd never truly left the group, the internet lost its mind. Some fans felt duped. Others applauded the creativity, but everyone agreed it was legendary. The Sidemen War wasn't just a YouTube feud. It was a turning point. It showed that content creators could own their narrative, use controversy not as destruction, but as fuel. Looking back, that summer changed the game forever. The diss tracks, the fake feuds, the viral madness, it was pure chaos, perfectly executed. And maybe that's why, to this day, people still talk about it. Because in 2017, the Sidemen didn't just break the internet, they rewrote the rules of it. So what do these three controversies tell us about the Sidemen? That even the biggest, most successful YouTube groups aren't immune to mistakes, misunderstandings, and manufactured drama. From a careless word that sparked genuine outrage, to a celebrity comment that questioned their authenticity, to a legendary fake feud that became internet history, the Sidemen have faced it all. But what sets them apart is how they've handled it. They've owned their mistakes, laughed at the ridiculous moments, and turned controversy into content without losing sight of what matters. They've grown from 7 friends making videos in their bedrooms to a media empire, and along the way, they've learned that fame comes with responsibility. The Sidemen aren't perfect. They've stumbled, they've been called out, and they've had to evolve. But through it all, they've stayed together, proving that sometimes the strongest response to controversy isn't defense, it's unity. And that's it for today's video. What do you think about the Sidemen's controversies? Did they handle them well, or should they have done things differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing different takes. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with someone who'd find it interesting too. It really helps the channel grow, and it keeps me motivated to bring you even more wild stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.